biggest crypto bull run in history is still going on behind the scenes during alt season. This alt season is going to be one of the best ever. We already know that this cycle will be bigger than the one from 2020 to 2021. This one is going to be a lot bigger because so many institutions are adopting it, and the government is putting a lot of support behind crypto and digital assets. I do think that crypto is going to get a lot of attention again from regular people, which will send prices through the roof, even higher than they are now. I've talked about a few reasons why this crypto bull run is going to hit hard very soon. I'll talk about those soon because we already have a few things that kind of fit with that. Look at the daily view of this market as a whole, guys. I mean, this is beautiful right now. The market as a whole is very green. This is the daily, this is the weekly, this is the monthly, this is the yearly. And of course, right now on a daily and weekly scale, green is the main color. There are some red ones in there too. The H bar went up about 3.1% and is now up about 3.6%. We have a few more people like Q and Link and a few others. Even though XRP isn't going up by a lot today, it was pumping hard not long ago, which we love to see. In general, it was a pretty good day for crypto. Bitcoin, which is up 1.2% and sitting at almost 109K. It's the main thing I'm looking at here. This is the 24-hour view. I like the 7-day view better. The price of Bitcoin is up 7.4% and the price of Ethereum is up 12%. Well, it's doing better than Bitcoin, which is what we want. Also, Kick is up about 9% in the last week. All old coins have done pretty well in the last week, even though we're not at all-time lows. It's been a great week for crypto. Crypto's market value has reached $3.00. 3 trillion, and fear and greed are about 50 years old. The old coin season measure shows that 20 out of 100 coins are in a good state. We still have time to get there. Even though some old coins are starting to appreciate, we're still in the middle of Bitcoin season. At about 65%, Bitcoin is still the most popular cryptocurrency. This is what CoinMarketCap looks like over a month and over a week. This week, I'm going to show you on a map how bullish Bitcoin really is right now. This is also how the year looks. Once more, these plots are getting very close to a much bigger move. You know, this is what XRP looks like right now on the 7th day of the month, and this is what a year looks like. We're still mostly just putting things together, which is fine. The longer we stay in a holding pattern and look a bit dull on the charts, the higher we go. Something, if you look at this candle from December 24, we go all the way back to 2020 and 2021. I told you that people are getting bored. The longer things stay the same and the more they combine, the sooner the retail sector gives up. It gets better as we do that for longer. Another interesting way to look at this is that it's a lot like the lows in 2022. Before November, when XRP first came out, everyone wondered why it was going through the roof and why these people were coming together. No one made a big deal of it, and then there was a huge push to the top. That's because we keep putting it together forever. When we think about consolidation with XRP, it's crazy that we haven't made our new all-time high yet. The all-time high price for XRP was $3.84 in December 2017, and we still haven't crossed that line. So let's think about that time span from 2017 to now. That's 8 years. It's crazy that we've been collecting for 8 years. This tells me that XRP has a lot more room to go, especially when we think about all the things that are leading up to alt season this year. I really believe that this will be a huge year for big gains. So when we agree, we'll talk more about alternative coins and even XRP. Take a quick look at the top 500 from the past week. This is the top 500. The market as a whole is beginning to move in a good way. The top 100 has moved 65, 47, and 30 points in the past week, which is almost 6%. Guys, take a look at these gains, even from the lows. I get it, looks pretty good in the short term, but in reality, we're still a long way from what they see, which is a big part of an old season. But this is a great start. Additionally, the FUMS meeting is coming up soon. The FUMC will meet from July 29th to July 30th. A lot of people want to know whether the cut will happen in July or September. There's been a lot of talk about Trump and Jerome Powell because Trump has been yelling at Powell for a while now. Watch this other video to see why. Is Powell should step down as head of the Fed. He did a terrible job. Director P was on CNBC earlier today to talk about how he thought Powell should step down. Do you agree? I see that you look nice. I didn't have anything to say, but if he wanted to, I'd love for him to quit. He did a terrible job. If you were there, you'd say, well, you know, the US was doing good. Their prices don't go up. And if they do get inflation in a year or two, we'll start raising rates. You know, we'll do more than just get rid of the inflation. Biden had the worst inflation in U.S. history, 19%. But I think it was a lot higher than that. We did a great job with inflation and almost everything else. I agree that people's actions are very sad. There's a jerk in there who could lower interest rates and save us $300 billion, 0 cents a year with the stroke of a pen, but he's not smart. Also, he said this because there was a lot of talk about what the Fed was doing. Check out this one. Our guy is a stubborn pig and a fool who is doing a terrible thing. He's going wrong. It lasts for many business shows today say, you know, Trump is right. That's because when you pay off the loan, it's over. I told my people not to take on any debt that would last longer than 9 months. Get this guy out of there. And rates will go down for whoever is in there. No, I'm not going to put them in because I think someone will leave the rates as they are. Someone who wants to cut rates will be put there. Rates should go down, as I said this morning. Think about it. We live in a great country that makes a lot of money. Our taxes bring in billions of dollars every year. And now $15 trillion, 0 cents wants to invest here. That's a record that will be broken in 2 months, beating every record we've had. In a year from now, it will be much higher because we've been doing it for about 2 months to 2.5 months. After 2 months, the amount of money is $15 trillion, 0 cents, which is more than any other record. This has never happened before. And lots of companies and auto plants are moving in because they want to be a part of the United States. As I said, the question now is, what does the Fed do? The Fed doesn't care what Trump says. So Jerome Powell isn't going to give in and lower interest rates. So what do we think will happen on July 30? That's when the FOMC meeting will happen, and it will tell us if rates will go down. It would be crazy if rates dropped near the end of July, but I do think July will be a very busy month for crypto. I've said this many times in the last 2 weeks, and when I first said it, I thought July